the Cuyahoga County regular council meeting for Tuesday, July 8th, 2025 will please come to order. The time is now 5 o'clock, and I am not going to repeat the full opening remarks about decorum and process, but just state that all of the things that have been presented at previous council meetings remain in effect. And I would ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Good evening, everyone. As a reminder to all in attendance, this meeting is being recorded and live streamed on the county's YouTube page. Calling the roll, Mr. Castleberry.
Here.
Mr. Gallagher.
Here.
Mr. Schlepper.
Here.
Ms. Conwell.
Present.
Mr. Jones.
Here.
Ms. Turner is absent. Mr. Hauser. Here. Ms. Simon.
Here.
Mr. Kelly.
Here.
Mr. Sweeney. Mr. Sweeney's away from his desk at the moment. And Council President Miller.
Here.
You have a quorum.
And please call Councilman Sweeney.
Here. Sorry about that.
Councilman Sweeney.
Okay. Will everybody please rise and join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I would now ask everyone to please join me in a moment of silent reflection for the victims of the devastating floods in Texas and their families. Thank you. The next item on the agenda is public comment. Has anybody signed in this evening?
Madeline Brown.
Good evening.
Hi, my name is Madeline Brown. I'm a resident of Brecksville. I'm here today to talk about the conversion therapy ban. I'm here today on behalf of a really good friend of mine who actually went through conversion therapy here in Ohio. He was a teenager when he was put through this conversion therapy. It didn't work. Not only is he still gay and actually in a really lovely relationship right now, but he had a lot of lasting psychological effects. I know that there are other people here who are going to talk about some of the medical and statistics and stuff like that, but yeah, as an Ohio constituent here talking about a former Ohio resident, this is really dear to my heart. He went through a lot of needing support. I've known him for a long time. He went through this as an adolescent and is now an adult. It took a lot of support and a lot of help for him to get better, to be in a place where he could be a productive member of society, which he is now. But it also involved him leaving Ohio. It involved him breaking with his family and his parents, who are also still healing from the after effects of the conversion therapy. So I am here speaking on his behalf to ban conversion therapy in Cuyahoga County so that another young person doesn't have to go through what he went through. Thank you.
Daniel Tyson.
Good afternoon, council persons. I am also
Mr. Tyson, if you could state your name for the record, please.
Certainly. Daniel Tyson, 9251 Glenwood Trail, Brecksville, Ohio, Cuyahoga County, known better in my community as Otto. Good afternoon, councilpersons. Thank you for hearing our voices today. I stand before you against the odds as a 20-year survivor to the Living Waters Conversion Therapy Treatment Program, a program still active today targeting teens and their legal guardians. I'm casting my voice in favor of this county-wide ban, not just for myself, but for the majority of my classmates who did not make it to see this day, and the voiceless victims of our future. I'm standing with my fallen brothers and sisters today asking you to pass this ban, giving this next generation a shot at a full, robust life, a 20-year head start into a future where they aren't forced to hide, comforted by addiction, or ingrained with self-loathing hate, but are able to contribute joyfully from a place of health, love, and confidence into a community that recognizes them as whole people. This is your chance to be on the right side of our county's history, to be the trusted adult in the room. Thank you for hearing us.
Brooks Boren.
Good afternoon. My name is Brooks Boron. I'm a resident of Strongsville. I'm an attorney and a business owner here in downtown Cleveland. I'm a proud member of the LGBT community, and I serve as president of the Cleveland Stonewall Democrats. I come before you tonight on behalf of the executive board of the Cleveland Stonewall Democrats and our membership, as well as the 458 people who have signed on to our letter that we will be submitting. I come before you to express our strong support for the proposed legislation to ban conversion therapy here in Cuyahoga County. Conversion therapy is a dangerous and discredited practice based on the false and harmful premise that being LGBTQIA+ is a disorder that is wrong or must be fixed. This practice has been condemned by every leading medical and mental health organization, including the American Medical Association, the American Psychiatric Association, and the American Academy of Pediatrics. Despite this overwhelming consensus, conversion therapy continues to be inflicted upon our community and our youth across the state, including here in Cuyahoga County. This practice is not only ineffective, it causes significant and lasting harm that we have the ability to stop. So I come before you tonight to say this is not a political issue. We view this as a matter of public health, of child welfare, and of human dignity. Passing this ban sends a clear message and a powerful message that Cuyahoga County values its LGBTQIA+ residents, especially its youth, and that we are committed to protecting them from abuse that masquerades as treatment. This action would align our county with other municipalities across Ohio and the nation who have taken a stand to protect LGBTQIA+ individuals from this harmful practice. Many of you are strong allies. The LGBT community is watching. We are here and we stand with you. We ask that you will stand with us once again. So thank you for your service and your commitment to the safety and well-being of all the residents.
Ebony Spano.
Good evening, County Council. My name is Ebony Spano. I live in Highland Heights. I am a veteran, a mother, and a caregiver to my 9-year-old autistic son, Michael, who was nonverbal and has sensory issues. Over 6 years, 40 hours a week of therapy, it has made him possible to stand here before you without headphones, without a vest, and without any necessities. I know the news cameras may be here for the Browns, and don't get me wrong, I love football too. But while another stadium fills with cheers, families like mine are quietly breaking down behind closed doors. Michael has intensive needs, frequent meltdowns, elopement risks, sensory overload. His IEP and ETR confirm his needs, one-on-one support, and I am that support. I've missed countless work deadlines to keep him emotionally regulated and physically safe. I even stopped my master's degree to help him get on track. No one told me about the self-waiver, a Medicaid option that would legally allow me to be paid to the care or my own child through the participant-directed homemaker personal care services. Only found out through desperate late-night Googling while I was missing deadlines for work. Meanwhile, the County Board of Developmental Disabilities, where I've been active in family support since 2021, never mentioned it. Families like mine are routinely steered toward the level 1 waiver, if anything at all. As of February 2025, 1,500 individuals in all of Ohio are on the self-waiver. Yet in Cuyahoga County, 2,400 children have autism-specific IEPs. The self-waiver offers up to $25,000 a year for medically necessary care. That is not a luxury, it's a lifeline. This has been silenced with tons for struggling families. This isn't about parenting, this is about policy failure. I'm asking for 3 actions. 1, a public audit of the self-waiver access awareness and the support administrator compliance. 2, a racial and zip code breakdown of the recipients. 3, a written education plan for the SSAs by Q3. If we can invest millions in football, we can fund a system that helps families like mine keep going. Thank you.
Lou?
Good evening. There are lots of things we will use the word converting, conversion, whatever with it. For something already in your DNA, I really don't think we should go to convert anything unless you allow cloning people. It's not a lifestyle. It's who you are individually. Now, if you really want to convert people due to their DNA, then please spend some time to convert homeless shelter. Please stop the nonsense on renovation, which would not really help the people receiving service to receive the service they actually need. For example, one of the council members asked me last week about the construction in there. Let's convert that. How about that? Right now, the building got complete half side blocked. Only one side left. Think about the horrible situation. You still have more people being unhoused coming in every day. Food service is the issue I just addressed, which was already issue before this construction. The public health, public safety, that's something we should convert. Biannual county budget process will start after the summer. Please think about putting the real money to the real needs. Do we need to convert something which is actually already instilled in people, which you are not legally to change anyway? Don't waste money on those things. We need money on the real services because federal government is cutting us, state government is cutting us. We should ban all the unnecessary conversion. We need a real medical intervention. Thank you.
Stephanie Ash?
Hello, my name is Stephanie Ash, and I'm a licensed social worker who lives and works in Cuyahoga County. I represent social workers and students as co-director of our region on the National Association of Social Workers Ohio Chapter Board. I'm here today offering testimony on behalf of NASW Ohio in strong support of the proposed ordinance banning conversion therapy. Social workers are trained to uphold the dignity and worth of all people. Our code of ethics mandates that we affirm, not erase, a person's identity. Conversion therapy is not therapy. It is psychological abuse, cloaked in the language of help and rooted in the false and dangerous belief that LGBTQIA+ identities are disorders in need of correction. There is no scientific basis for conversion therapy. Leading organizations have all condemned the practice. The data is clear. Not only does it not work, it causes profound harm. Queer youth who are subjected to conversion efforts face higher rates of depression, anxiety, self-harm, and suicide. We know that one supportive adult in a young person's life can reduce the risk of suicide by 40%. This ordinance gives us the opportunity to be that supportive adult through our policies, our protections, and our values. Banning conversion therapy is not about politics. It's about saving lives. It's about ensuring that no child in Cuyahoga County ever endures the deep and lasting damage of being told they must change who they are in order to be loved or safe. This ordinance aligns with our professional ethics, our responsibility to do no harm, and the basic human right to self-determination. On behalf of NASW Ohio's 3,700 members, I urge you to pass this ordinance without delay. Let's make Cuyahoga County a place where queer youth are affirmed, protected, and empowered to thrive. Thank you.
Brandon West.
Good evening, good evening, everyone. My name is Brandon West. I'm from Lorraine. 9 months ago, this movement started with a draft ordinance on my computer screen and hope that we can make some change. That Cuyahoga County could lead in banning a harmful and widely discredited practice called conversion therapy. That Cuyahoga County could say that it's time to show that our LGBTQIA+ youth matter. Now, being a part of the LGBTQIA community, I always knew what conversion therapy was, what it entailed, and how dangerous it is. But again, being part of that community, many people tell you that you should be normal or be straight. So when my brother sought mental health care when he was younger, to him and I, it wasn't a shock that they prescribed medication that was meant to treat psychosis for who he was and how he was born. It's been normalized that the LGBTQIA+ identity is wrong or downright sinful. But now it's time to change the perspective and ban conversion therapy to protect our youth from undergoing a forced and life-threatening practice, to bridge the gap between LGBTQIA youth and mental health practitioners to reduce the risk of suicide. After we passed a ban in Lorraine, I had many messages come through from families with gay or trans kids saying how they finally felt protected enough to get proper mental health care. That's a city of 60,000 plus people. Imagine the effect it would have in a county with over 1 million. This ban is not harmful. It does not prohibit talk therapy, supportive gender affirming care, nor does it tell straight kids they need to be gay or trans. All it does is finally ban a practice that wrongly tells youth that they are mentally ill for being born the way they were. And lastly, I want to thank everyone who has made this possible. With the support of everyone behind me and watching at home, I could not have done this alone. Thank you.
Andrew DeFreitas.
Good evening, members of County Council. My name is Andrew DeFreitas. I'm a proud resident of the city of Cleveland, where I live with my partner of more than 10 years, and I'm here to voice strong support for Ordinance 2025-003 to prohibit the practice of conversion therapy on minors and vulnerable adults. I want to thank Brandon and Councilman Schlepper for making this legislation happen by even having this conversation. In Ohio's second most populous county, we are sparking more conversations that will lead to more protections for members of the LGBTQ community of all ages. A community that is very much feeling the anxiety of being in the crosshairs, a community synonymous with threats of programmatic funding cuts from harmful governments at the state and federal level, and a community that has been engaged in nonstop advocacy for rights and freedoms for the entirety of my life and much longer. I'm a proud gay Clevelander doing my best to better myself and the rest of our community. I was lucky to grow up in an accepting family where conversion would never be suggested, but kids shouldn't have to rely on luck. The science is clear. Conversion therapy causes real harm, dramatically increases the risk of depression, trauma, and suicide. And Cuyahoga County has the opportunity and the obligation to protect youth and vulnerable adults from these harms and be a leader in this space. So I urge your support. Thank you.
Robert Deming.
Good evening, council members. My name is Robert Deming, and I'm a proud resident of the city of North Railton. I'm also a social work student at Cleveland State and a policy intern with the National Association of Social Workers Ohio chapter. I'm here to strongly support the ordinance to ban conversion therapy in our county. This ordinance aligns with the core ethical values of social work and will help protect vulnerable members of our community, particularly LGBTQIA+ youth. As social workers, we are committed to upholding the dignity and worth of all people, including those who identify as LGBTQIA+. Conversion therapy violates this principle. It undermines the trust between individuals and their care providers, causing lasting trauma, especially for our youth. Leading medical organizations like the APA and NASW have raised concerns that conversion therapy is not evidence-based, unsafe, and harmful. Research has time and time again showed us that conversion therapy and youth who undergo it face higher risk of negative mental health outcomes, including suicide. This ordinance offers us a chance to create a safer environment for LGBTQIA youth in Cuyahoga County. Passing this ordinance sends a clear message that we stand firm in protecting the well-being of minors and vulnerable adults. It holds professionals accountable and reinforces our commitment to dignity and respect. I urge you to pass this ordinance and continue protecting the rights and safety of LGBTQIA+ individuals within our county.
Kay Papera.
Good evening, Council. Thank you so much for giving us an opportunity to have public comment. My name is legally Kay Papera, and I go by Cameron in the community. I am a resident and work in Cuyahoga County. Me and my spouse have a private counseling practice, and I've been in the counseling field for 14+ years. A large majority of my professional career has been involved with working with children as a mental health professional. And I echo all of my colleagues' statements in terms of the harm that can come when it comes from conversion therapy. It's already hard enough for youth to grow up and to have a safe space to be able to explore their identity, whether that is their hobbies, their studies, their space in the world. And if we add extra things on top of that that tells them that they are wrong in any form, it's going to harm them irreparably, especially having someone who is supposed to be in a power status, such as a counselor or a teacher or a mentor, telling them that part of them is wrong. It brings on unnecessary shame that is a lifelong battle. As someone had spoke earlier, it takes one adult in an LGBTQ+ kid's life, and even in an LGBTQ+ adult person's life, one person to tell them that they are valid, that they are authentic, to change that life and to really make an impactful, positive difference. And I urge you to really consider that this could help Cuyahoga County be put in the map for a safe, affirming place for people to be who they are and be able to give back to the society, because the healthier each individual is, the more they can create that healthy community. Thank you.
That concludes the public comment for tonight's meeting.
Thank you very much, everyone, for your comments and presentations. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes for the June 30th, 2025 Committee of the Whole and regular meeting. Do I have a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The minutes are approved. Now I would ask for a motion to excuse the absence of Councilperson Meredith Turner.
So moved.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And the absence is excused. I do not have any announcements at this time. I would now call upon our county executive.
Thank you, Council President, and good evening, council members. If I may, Council President, I'd just like to echo appreciation for sentiment for those who just gave their remarks on our public comment period. Thank you for the thoughtful comments. I hope everybody had as good a 4th of July as they could. It's certainly a weekend of reflection in our country, but I wanted to single out a young man that I met this weekend. Many of you have heard about Tyler Soden in the news, but we can't repeat his story enough in this community. He is a young 16-year-old who saved the lives of a mom and 2 kids on Sacramento Avenue across the street from his home. He brought a ladder to the home and actually carried a child down from harm's way. He was the honoree and the grand marshal of this this past 4th of July's West Park Parade. And I just wanted to give a shout out to Tyler Soudan again for his bravery and appreciation from we in the community. We honored, and again, actually, council members, I carried on your behalf from all of us a proclamation honoring our first responders, and we honor our first responders in this community from police, fire, EMS, our sheriffs, and certainly our hospitals. But I did also want to honor the first responder, Tyler Soudan, tonight. So thank you, Tyler. Just a few more matters, Council President, members of council. Some of you are aware and some of you represent the districts where we have piloted a co-response. That is a mental health professional upon dispatch helping de-escalate situations involving persons who have mental health challenges. And we have heard in droves from our law enforcement officers that they appreciate the accompaniment, they appreciate the expertise. So we have been piloting that co-response program in the cities of South Euclid, Richmond Heights, University Heights, Cleveland Heights, and Shaker Heights. Proud to announce that tomorrow we will be expanding that program in Parma and Parma Heights, hopefully coming soon to all of our districts, but it's certainly something that we see as working and looking forward to expanding that with Mayors DeGeeter and Gallo. And obviously, Councilman Castleberry, this is in your district, and maybe a couple others touch it, but good to see a co-response piloted movement that we really initiated here at Cuyahoga County with our 5 mayors, expanded 2 more mayors. And I do want to thank Mayor David Weiss particularly for his real brain trust that is working now in 4 other communities, and also to Mayor DeGeeter and Mayor Gallo for embracing it as well. Every time our law enforcement that I talk to appreciates that co-response partner. Wanted to just call out, give shout out to Judge Santoli and his Veterans Treatment Court. Attended their graduation, which happens about 2-3 times a year. But I would encourage any of you anytime to get over and see the work that's being done in our courts to support our veterans as they go through various stages of treatment, and really exceptional work on Judge Santoli's part in the court, and the Veterans Treatment Court, and there's a couple other judges that have been involved in that as well. But just wanted to say what a joy it was to see our veterans graduate from Veterans Treatment Court 2 days before the 4th of July. I think I'd be remiss if I didn't mention in my remarks, when I see the occasion to mention a budget impact on us, the county, and our sister communities in the 59 communities across Cuyahoga County. You can recount the many ways in which we are impacted, from schools, libraries, Medicaid. But tonight I just wanted to mention the impact on the food banks. I had the opportunity today to meet with Kristen Warkoza, who runs the Greater Cleveland Food Bank. Their funding overall has been cut 14%. What that equates to in amount of food distribution that will not be made is 7.5 million pounds of food in this community that's distributed throughout the Northeast Ohio region by the food bank is cut. That means a cut to pre-COVID levels, while during that time since the COVID pandemic broke out, utilization by our families in Cuyahoga County and our sister counties has gone up 25%. So a 14% cut against the grain of escalation of utilization. Overall in our country, 9.5 billion meals will be cut as a result of federal cuts to our food banks. I could go on and on about SNAP, Medicaid, and many other things, but tonight I just wanted to focus on one issue, and that is food sustenance, which we're all going to have to band together as if it is COVID to literally address the food needs of our community. And I compliment you, Council President Miller and colleagues, for helping stopgap 17 food pantries that were in a dire strait just a few weeks ago, and thank you. We are stepping up, and as we've said over and over again, the federal government budget cuts fall squarely on the shoulders of us at Cuyahoga County and our sister counties throughout the nation and our communities within those counties. Maybe a apt segue, but I just wanted to mention that Ohio Capitol Journal has written that since June 3rd, when the Senate sub-bill came out of the House, and we mentioned out of this building that families ought seek unclaimed funds, and we still mention that to anybody, unclaimedfunds.ohio.gov, as those funds are being used to fund the state's portion of a contribution to the Cleveland Browns Stadium and mixed-use development in Brook Park. 133,000 individuals in Ohio since that June 3rd announcement we made out of this building have sought unclaimedfunds.ohio.gov. Now, others made that announcement, but we made it right on the heels of the Senate sub-bill. So I say to our Cuyahoggans, keep seeking unclaimedfunds.ohio.gov and be amongst the 133,000 people who've drawn on it and begun the process of drawing on it. It's not an easy process to withdraw funds from unclaimed funds, as some of you may know, but keep going. It's your money. Just as we're on the eve of the opening of Superman. I wanted to say thank you, James Gunn, director, and to those who came and took a chance on Cleveland. Produced a whole lot of jobs here with a whole lot of cinematography that, as was presented in our local paper this weekend, they found this to be an incredible cinematography backdrop. But I also wanted to say, in fun, congratulations, Pernell Jones. You may see him in the movie coming up here as it opens up this July 14th. He's an extra in the movie. I hope you don't get cut. I hope you're in it. Finally, just be remiss, and some of you are at the event today, if you didn't give a shout out to Dan Gilbert, billionaire who really cares about this community in downtown Cleveland, and spent, he had really a three-peat with the announcement of the WNBA we all know about. It's exciting to see that happening. COSM, which will be opening up on East 4th as a sports entertainment district, and really adding to the enhancements of the Gateway District. But today came the announcement, or the topping off of the local Global Peak Performance Center, which is a partnership with the Cleveland Clinic and the Cleveland Cavaliers. I was excited to hear that for our county, we'll have practice here in downtown Cleveland. We'll also have it in Independence with the WNBA. So it's a win-win, literally, for us. I just wanted to compliment Dan Gilbert, the Bedrock companies, and the Cleveland Cavaliers, as well as the Cleveland Clinic, for bringing that facility to fruition right here in the downtown and making a $1 billion investment in sports and entertainment downtown. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you very much, Executive. Legislation introduced by Council. Consideration of resolutions of Council for first reading and referral to committee.
Resolution 2025-0231, awarding a total sum not to exceed $13,000 to the Greater Cleveland Delta Life Foundation Life Development Center, Inc. for the Freedom Garden of Literacy Project from the Districts 2, 7, and 9 ARPA Community Grant Funds.
Refer to the Education, Environment, and Sustainability Committee.
Resolution 2025-0232, awarding a total sum not to exceed $25,000 to Community Housing Solutions for the Home Repair Program from the District 11 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Refer to the Community Development and Housing Committee. Consideration of an ordinance of council for first reading and referral to committee.
Ordinance 2025-0003, amending sections 501.15, 505.03, and 1501.03A, and enacting section 1501.08 of the Cuyahoga County Code to prohibit the practice of conversion therapy on minors and vulnerable adults.
Refer to the Health, Human Services, and Aging Committee.
And at this time, Council President Miller has requested his name be added as a sponsor to the legislation as a co-sponsor.
Committee reports and resolutions of council for second reading.
Resolution 2025-0205, awarding a total sum not to exceed $10,000 to the Cleveland Heights Tigers Youth Sports Association, Inc. for the Cleveland Heights Tigers Youth Empowerment Through Sports Initiative from the District 7 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will move to the July 22nd, 2025 council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2025-0216, awarding a total sum not to exceed $80,000 to the Hunger Network of Greater Cleveland for the funding for Hunger Network's Hot Meals Sites project from the Districts 2, 3, 4, 7, and 8 ARPA Community Grant Funds.
This item will move to the July 22nd, 2025 council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption. Consideration of resolutions of council for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2025-0171, awarding a total sum not to exceed $10,000 to the Urban League of Greater Cleveland for the 2025 National Urban League Conference from the District 9 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt. This matter was heard in our Education Committee. The sponsor is not here to specify the benefit of this program, but there was the conference, I think, happened, and this is toward the conference that's in Cleveland. So I ask for your support.
All those in favor of adoption, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2025-0192, awarding a total sum not to exceed $2,000 to Brilliant Misfits doing business as Golden Guardians for the Brilliant Misfits Youth Enrichment Program from the District 3 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt. This was heard in committee, and I'm going to refer it to the sponsor.
This award was for a football team. They fell a little short this summer, and I appreciate Councilman Sweeney for his support. I ask for my colleague's support.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Resolution is adopted. Legislation introduced by executive consideration of resolutions for first reading adoption under suspension of the rules. May I have a motion to suspend the rules regarding referral to committee and requirement of 3 readings?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor of suspending the rules say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The rules are suspended.
Resolution 2025-0233, amending the 2024-2025 biennial operating budget for 2025 by providing for additional fiscal appropriations, appropriation transfers, and cash transfers.
Move to adopt.
Second. Mr. Chairman, this resolution is for a routine additional appropriations, cash transfers, and appropriation transfers. This week's fiscal agenda is mostly comprised of grants. There are 2 items of note. One is the repayment to the National Guard for the Pay Success Program in the amount of $400,000. The funding source is the Social Impact Fund. Second item of note is $180,000 for new surveillance cameras in the jail. The funding source is the Commissary Fund, which has a balance of $2.1 million. I ask for my colleague's support of this resolution.
All those in favor of adoption of the resolution say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2025-0234, accepting the report containing the findings and recommendations of fact finder Dr. Dennis Byrne regarding a successor collective bargaining agreement between Cuyahoga County and the International Union of Operating Engineers, Local 18, representing approximately 10 employees in the Department of Public Works for the period January 1st, 2025 through December 31st, 2026.
This item was heard and discussed in our executive session this afternoon. All those in favor of adoption say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Resolution is adopted. Consideration of resolutions.
Council President, I didn't hear a motion to approve and also a second.
I'll second. I think he made the motion, I think.
I'll make the motion if he didn't.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Consideration of resolutions for first reading and referral to committee.
Resolution 2025-0235, confirming the county executive's appointment of Anthony W. Scott upon his taking the oath of office as Director of Housing and Community Development.
Refer to the committee of the whole.
Please add my name.
Please add the councilman's name.
And my name as well.
I think we had Hauser and Sweeney.
Yes.
correct?
Conwell.
And Conwell.
Resolution 2025-0236, fixing the 2026 water, storm, and sanitary sewer maintenance and sewerage treatment rates for county sewer district numbers 1, 1A, 2, 3, 5, 8, 9, 13, 14, 18, 20, 21, 22, and 24, in accordance with Ohio Revised Code, Section 6117.02.
Refer to the Public Works Procurement and Contracting Committee.
Resolution 2025-0237, approving and confirming the 2026 water, storm, and sanitary sewer maintenance and sewerage treatment assessments for County Sewer District Numbers 1, 1A, 2, 3, 5, 8, 9, 13, 14, 18, 20, 21, 22, and 24, in accordance with Ohio Revised Code, Section 6117.02.
Refer to Public Works.
Resolution 2025-0238, authorizing an amendment to a contract with Chagrin Valley Engineering LTD for the reconstruction of Lee Road from Shaker Heights Northern Corporation Line to Invermere Avenue in the cities of Shaker Heights and Cleveland, to add the detailed design package for the city of Shaker Heights and preliminary design for the city of Cleveland portions of the project, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $2,193,708 for the period February 24th, 2025 through the project's completion, effective upon signature of all parties.
Refer to Public Works.
Resolution 2025-0239, authorizing an amendment to a contract for a development loan in the amount not to exceed $10 million to Playhouse Square Foundation for the benefit of the Lumen at Playhouse Square project, to extend the maturity date to September 13th, 2028, upon payment of $3,500,000 in principal plus accrued and unpaid interest on or before September 30th, 2025.
Refer to the Economic Development and Planning Committee.
Resolution 2025-0240, authorizing the county executive to enter into agreements with various municipalities in the total amount not to exceed $1 million for reimbursement of costs associated with assigned council representation to indigent persons charged with violations of the ordinances of the municipal corporations for a period of 1 year.
Refer to the Public Safety and Justice Affairs Committee.
Resolution 2025-0241, authorizing a contract with Centers for Families and Children in the amount not to exceed $7 million for capital funding towards the construction of a new comprehensive behavioral health care center, with priority for the development of a detoxification unit effective upon signatures of all parties through December 31st, 2026.
Refer to the Public Safety and Justice Affairs Committee.
Resolution 2025-0242, authorizing a contract among Cuyahoga County Workforce Development Board doing business as Greater Cleveland Works and Youth Opportunities Unlimited in the amount not to exceed $6,475,025 for the Comprehensive Case Management and Employment Program, Employment Education and Training Services for Young Adults for the period July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026.
Refer to Education, Environment, and Sustainability Committee.
Resolution 2025-0243, making an award on requisition 15867 to various providers in the amount not to exceed $1,212,963.97 for school community-based Closing the Achievement Gap services for the period August 1st, 2025 through July 31st, 2026. For the contracts and providers A through E as listed on the agenda.
Refer to the Education, Environment, and Sustainability Committee. Committee reports and consideration of resolutions for second reading. Each of these items, after being read into the record, will move to the July 22nd, 2025 Council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2025-0220, declaring that public convenience and welfare requires the resurfacing of Harvard Road from the Western Corporation Line to the Eastern Corporation Line in the village of Cuyahoga Heights. Total estimated project cost, $2,346,085. Finding that special assessments will neither be levied nor collected to pay for any part of the county's costs of said improvement. Council President, Council Rule 9C allows for the reading of very similar items by abbreviated titles. Therefore, items 2 through 4 will be read into the record by abbreviated titles if there are no objections.
I see no objection. Please proceed.
Resolution 2025-0221, declaring that public convenience and welfare requires the resurfacing of Nottingham Dilly Road from St. Clair Avenue to Euclid Avenue in the cities of Cleveland and Euclid. Total estimated project cost, $3,700,000. Resolution 2025-0222, declaring that public convenience and welfare requires the rehabilitation of Rockside Road from 700 feet west of Lombardo Center to SR 21 in the cities of Independence and Seven Hills. Total estimated project cost, $5 million. Resolution 2025-0223, declaring that public convenience and welfare requires the resurfacing of Warrensville Center Road from Maple Heights North Corporation Line to Wickfield Avenue in the city of Warrensville Heights, Village of Highland Heights, and the Village of North Randall. Total estimated project cost, $5,700,000. Resolution 2025-0229, authorizing an amendment to a grant agreement with Say Yes Cleveland and College Now Greater Cleveland for administration and fiscal agent services for the Say Yes Cleveland program for the period July 16th, 2024 through July 15th, 2025, to extend the time period to July 15th, 2026, to amend budget terms and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $1,600,000 effective July 16th, 2025. Resolution 2025-0230, authorizing an amendment to a master contract with various providers for infant and early childhood mental health services in connection with the Invest in Children program for the period January 1st, 2025 through December 31st, 2025, to amend budget terms and for additional funds in the total amount not to exceed $775,000, effective upon signatures of all parties for the providers A through G.
Committee reports and consideration of resolutions for second reading adoption under suspension of the rules. May I have a motion to suspend Rule 9D on requirement for 3 readings?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor of suspending the rules, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The rules are suspended.
Resolution 2025-0224, making an award on requisition 15799 to the Rulin Company in the amount not to exceed $22,456,737.47 for the Rockside Road rehabilitation of existing bridge number 03.23 over the Cuyahoga Valley Scenic Railroad and replacement of existing bridge number 03.32 over the Cuyahoga River in the Village of Valley View and the City of Independence, effective upon signatures of all parties through the project's completion.
Move to adopt.
At this time, we have a substitute.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Greg Huth with the County Law Department. This is one of those situations where we've gotten a little bit behind schedule in the drafting of the original version of this, and frankly, we just didn't check our math. So the percentages that are in the recitals in the resolution are correct, it's just that number in the preamble isn't. So this corrects that.
Okay, thank you very much. It's just a technical amendment then, and I'm going to move that we accept the proposed substitute. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor of accepting the proposed substitute, say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Thank you.
The substitute is accepted, and now I would ask if there's any discussion on the resolution as substituted.
Yes. This project, these 2 bridges both had a rating of 5 on a scale of 9 coming down to 0, where 4 is shut down. So they were 1 rating away from shut down. So there's been much band-aiding done to these 2 bridges over time. So we are right on pace to have this repair work done. The bridge was, the winning bidder was $200,000 lower than the second bidder. And the funding source was 64% federal, 20% issue 1, 16% county dollars, and the DBE goals set by the state, by ODOT, were reached. So I do ask for my colleagues' support on this project.
Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of adopting the resolution on its merits as substituted, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2025-0225, granting project feasibility approval of the Euclid co-developed microgrid project, authorizing execution of various agreements necessary and appropriate to implement the project, authorizing an amendment to a contract with Compass Energy Partners for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $10,640,050.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Thank you. This contract amendment resolution was heard in the Environment Committee. It's a very exciting project with a lot of potential to change the dynamic, not only here in the county, but throughout the nation, actually. So I ask for your support. This amends the terms, it extends time, it allows the next phase for feasibility and adjusts some of the funding.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of adoption, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2025-0227, authorizing an amendment to a contract with AT&T Corporation doing business as AT&T Enterprises LLC for session initiation protocol services and the replacement of 2 individual circuits on the Cisco infrastructure in connection with wide area network and telecommunications for the period July 1st, 2020 through June 30th, 2025, to extend the time period to June 30th, 2030, to amend budget terms and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $1,347,286.80, effective upon signatures of all parties.
This is
May we have a motion?
Second.
Okay, please proceed.
Thank you. I jumped the gun there. This is just a standard upgrade and some infrastructure pieces that needed to be amended within our IT division, and I asked my colleagues for your support.
All those in favor of approving the resolution, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The resolution is adopted. Consideration of resolutions for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2025-0201, amending resolution number 2021-0010, dated January 26, 2021, which declared that public convenience and welfare requires resurfacing of various avenues, boulevards, roads, and streets located in various municipalities in connection with the 2021-2022 50/50 resurfacing program, by removing Miles Road and Warrensville Center Road east of Green Road to East Corporation Limit and SR 480 to North Corporation Limit in the city of Warrensville Heights, Council District 9, by adding Harvard Road from Warrensville Center Road to North Road on the north side only in the city of Warrensville Heights, Council District 9.
Move to adopt.
Second.
This resurfacing project will be completed this year. So the resurfacing of Harvard Road and, again, the removal of the other roads, this project will be completed this year. And there was a county reimbursement that was a 50/50 split. So I ask for my colleagues' support.
All those in favor of adoption, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2025-0203, requesting approval of an adjustment to a portion of the boundary between the city of Beechwood with Orange Village to allow certain properties to be governed by the laws of only one municipality, to allow for the effective enforcement of both municipal codes, and to avoid confusion regarding the provision of municipal services, as legally described in Exhibit A and Exhibit B between the two municipalities.
Move to adopt. Again, this will be, they will be located solely in Beechwood, the authority, and both Orange and Beechwood have approved. One is a hotel, the other is a car dealership, and both are located at the entrance of Pinecrest. It has been fully vetted in committee, and I ask for my colleagues' support.
All those in favor of adoption, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2025-0212, adopting the 2025 Economic Development Plan in accordance with Section 7.05 of the Cuyahoga County Charter and Section 801.01 of the Cuyahoga County Code.
Is there a motion to adopt?
Motion made.
Second.
There is a substitute. Director Hertig.
Council President Paul Hertig, Department of Development. At the request of members of County Council, the department prepared an appendix to the Economic Development Plan. Basically, two things are included in the appendix. First, we laid out some of the ways in which the current version of our Economic Development Plan continues and builds on previous versions. We did have a kind of fresh approach this year, more of a traditional strategic planning approach. So in the appendix, we pointed out ways, despite the fresh approach, we're continuing the types of projects, the types of emphasis on economic development we've had in the past. And the second part of the appendix, again, as requested by some members of council, was an assessment of progress on last year's plan.
Thank you very much. I would like to thank the director for his cooperation in putting the amendments together. I requested a good number of them, and there were some others, so I appreciate the cooperation. And at this time, I would like to make a motion that we accept the substitute.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of accepting the substitute, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The substitute is accepted. Is there any further discussion on the question of adopting the resolution as substituted? Hearing none, all those in favor of adopting the resolution on its merits as substituted, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The resolution is adopted. We have a new 5-year economic development plan.
Resolution 2025-0213, authorizing an amendment to an economic development fund place-based mixed-use loan with 515 Euclid Avenue Residential LLC for the benefit of the Beacon Project located at 515 Euclid Avenue in the city of Cleveland for the period August 31st, 2017 through July 31st, 2025 to extend the time period to July 31st, 2028, and to amend the repayment terms, no additional funds required.
So move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President and my colleagues, this legislation is a date adjustment to align the county loan majority date with the loan maturity date set by the primary lender on the project. The Beacon project is anticipated to create 92 permanent jobs and provide rental housing for 150 residents in downtown Cleveland. I ask for my colleagues' support.
All those in favor of adoption, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The resolution is adopted.
Mr. Chair, can I have my name added?
Please add Ms. Conwell's name.
Thank you. Resolution 2025-0214, authorizing an amendment to a master contract with various providers for a summer youth employment program for low-income TANF-eligible youths, age 14 through 24, for the period November 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2025, to add Exhibit 1A representing the budget for the amendment term and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $857,746 for a contract with Youth Opportunities Unlimited and for a contract with Verge, Inc.
Move to adopt.
Second.
This is our annual contract with YOU to provide summer jobs for youth. I ask for your support.
And I would like to ask that my name be added, please.
Please add for Schlepper as well.
Conwell.
Jones.
Schlepper, Conwell, Jones.
And Sweeney.
Sweeney. Hauser.
Simon.
Simon.
Mr. Chairman, add my name too, please.
Castleberry.
Got it.
And Kelly.
Duly noted.
All those in favor of adoption, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Resolution is adopted. Report by the Clerk of Council on legislation withdrawn at the request of the sponsor.
Resolution 2025-0219 and Resolution 2025-0226 has been withdrawn at the request of the sponsors.
The next item on our agenda is miscellaneous committee reports, and I will start at my right with Councilman Kelly.
Thank you, Mr. President. Economic Development will meet Monday at 1 p.m.
HR and appointments will meet at its regularly scheduled time by the request of the administration.
We have nothing scheduled for Finance and Budgeting Committee, so we will not meet on Monday.
Good report.
Safety Tuesday, 1 o'clock.
No meeting scheduled for Operations, IT, and Transportation.
Please check with the clerk. Not sure if we're going to have committee.
Public Works will meet Wednesday, July 16th at 10 a.m. to address the items presented today.
Community Development will not meet this Monday.
Environment, Education, Wednesday at 3.
And there will be a meeting of the Committee of the Whole on Tuesday, July the 22nd, with the time to be determined. And at that time, we will have a public presentation and possible vote on the legislation regarding the amendment to the jail agreement with the City of Cleveland. And we will also have the confirmation hearing on the appointment of Anthony W. Scott as Director of Housing and Community Development. Does anybody have any miscellaneous business? Hearing none, the council meeting is adjourned. Thanks very much, everybody.